The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, right along with the Byron Bagwell.
Good evening,
He's here.
everybody.
Yeah, man. And right along with, our producer, Super Dave Holland, the dancing destroyer himself. Welcome to another edition of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Glad to have you back. Glad to be back. Lost last week just a little bit. We had a couple of things that happened, but wow, we're back in the saddle again. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, Byron. So let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody that's watching, please bow your heads. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once again for a wonderful and glorious day, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we have together, this brotherhood that we have, dear Lord. And just keep blessing us and keep blessing both shows, dear Lord, as they are coming along, and we're just getting the information out to everybody that needs it, dear Lord. So keep blessing us and our shows, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, dear Lord, the United States of America, the most freest and powerful country in the world today, dear Lord. Yes, I know we have our own issues and our own problems, but, you know, with your guiding hand, dear Lord, and your guiding touch, we can overcome those problems and those things, and we can be back to that great nation that we once all knew and that we once stood for and that we do stand for today, dear Lord. We just got some things that we need to clean up. Thank you for just letting us have this show today. Thank you for this week that we've gotten. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those men and women, as they're out there fighting the good fight, dear Lord, and whether they're serving in the U.S. or abroad, dear Lord. Just keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them back to their families safe, dear Lord, as we're going through these holiday weekends. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those men and women that protect and serve each and every day, and that you keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them back to their families as well, dear Lord. You know, in times of crisis and things where we need, our first responders are always there. And just make sure that you keep a touch on them, dear Lord, and that you keep them safe. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day. It goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you again for our workers, our frontline workers, anybody that makes America turn, dear Lord, that you just keep blessing us, dear Lord, and let's keep striving to make this country stronger and powerful, dear Lord. And it does start with our frontline workers. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. You got the ultimate hand, dear Lord. You're the ultimate healer. You can comfort each and every one of them. Again, thank you for letting us do this show today. Thank you for letting us go to work each and every day. Thank you for just being there for us, dear Lord. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Amen. Let us stand as we get ready for our pledge here. And Byron Bagwell, I'm going to ask you to lead us in our pledge today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Amen. Great to have you along, guys. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. The Byron Bagwell is in the house today. We got the dancing destroyer, Super Dave Holland, and I've got my other brother in here with me that does our other show, which is doing a fantastic job, by the way. I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about this, because we don't get a chance to always visit with each other.
Yeah, the Speed King himself.
Yeah, the Speed King himself, the Speed Demon, Mitchell Gunner, ladies and gentlemen, has been doing a wonderful job on that page. I know it's crossed over with our page, and I know because we're all a brotherhood, and that's the way it is. And Mitchell has been going out there each and every day, trying to get sponsors for his show, just trying to get guests for his show, trying to cover races that he does. Right. And that page right there has gotten a lot of followers. gets a lot of hits, gets a lot of trends, gets a lot of likes. And if you are a motorsports enthusiast, and I'm talking about any kind, hey, mainly he's in HRA, but hey, he covers NASCAR, he covers dirt track, he covers everything, motorcycles. He does a little bit of everything. But and if you got a question for him, all you got to do is message him. He'll answer. He'll try to get the answer for you. That's for sure. But I want to take just a couple of minutes to thank Mitchell Gunner for what he does on that show and what he does for us, man. Hey, he's posted some stuff on our page and some different things that he sees. So again, this is a brotherhood. We love each other. And again, sometimes we don't get a chance, Byron, to really talk like we used to because our lives are so busy and everything going on.
Crazy.
Everything goes crazy.
That's right.
And again, you know, hey, I just want to thank him for what he's done and what he does for this show and his show as well. And if you haven't tuned into one of his shows, they're really good. You need to.
They're good.
They're good. I mean, his interviews, he interviews each and everybody. It doesn't matter what they're doing, whether they're a driver, whether they're a mechanic, whether they build motors, whatever it is. He interviews everybody, and he's got a great co-host now that's helping him out. If you haven't had a chance to watch this show, you can watch it on Thursdays. He will let you know when they come on air. There's sometimes he doesn't come on air because, whatever's happened, they may not have a guest, whatever the case may be.
This Thursday.
So this Thursday, Mitchell, come in just a minute. Mitchell, come on in real quick. I know that you got the young man there, and he's looking good in his outfit, by the
Scouts.
way. Come in, in his Scouts uniform. Come in and just talk a little bit about that, man, because I know that sometimes, look, man, I'll admit it, sometimes we don't talk a lot anymore.
Oh, no, we're always busy.
We're always busy. Something's going on. And it's not that we don't love each other. It's just because, man, there's several things going on. But explain to everybody. Yeah, it is. Life is crazy. Explain a little bit about what's going on with the show and what we're looking forward to, not just toward the end of this season, but beginning of next year. And, of course, we'll talk about that more, too.
Yeah, we actually have the gentleman that puts on the World Foot Brake Challenge. He's going to be coming on Thursday night. I can't think of his name, so I'm not going to screw up his name. But that information will be available probably tomorrow on our page as we'll make an event for it.
Right.
We've been live streaming, of course, the 352 shootout a couple of weeks ago. This past weekend, we were at the Fall Brawl that was put on by RT Promotions and which is Rob Reynolds' promotion company. 3 days of live streaming racing action from Gainesville. And I tell you what, the YouTube channel is starting to catch fire as well as our Facebook page. So when we live stream these races, I always tell everyone who's joining in on Facebook, go over and go to your smart TV and go to On the Spot Motorsports Media, and you can watch it on your 50-plus inch TV, and you'll get a whole lot better view of what things that are going on compared to watching on the tablet or on your cell phone.
Right.
And so it's been going. It's been picking up a little bit. We're now at 7,100
108
4
or 4 or 8.
4.
4. Okay, I was That's good.
He's photogenic.
Yes, he is. Come on in here.
It's been moving pretty well.
Yeah.
We're going to have.
He's not even paying any attention.
We got some other guests coming up here shortly. We're going to try to get some of the winners from the Fall Brawl to come on. We've got Madison Payne. She's going to join us again during the off season. Talk about top alcohol and how her season ended up. I'm actually going to call Richard Freeman tomorrow of Elite Motorsports and see if I can get him, Aaron Stanfield, which won the last race in Pomona, and of course Erica Andrews, that is now a six-time world champ and pro.
Hey, brother, bing, 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 bing. That's all I've been seeing, brother.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right. That's great.
And we're even going to try to reach out to Doug Coletta. Doug Coletta's been racing in top Top Fuel for quite a few years. He's came up short, been a bridesmaid a couple of times, and never the bride. And well, this year he had to race Leah Pruitt in the final. Whoever won that final was going to win the championship, and Doug was able to take her out, which almost gave Tony Stewart 2 championships that day.
Wow.
I do have a question for you. I got a couple of guys at work that are very, very interested in NHRA, and they wanted me to ask you, and I've asked you this before, they want to know if you can get any of the forces onto your broadcast, Brittany or John or any of them. It's tough. That's tough, isn't it?
It is really hard because, I mean, they're involved in other things. I mean, I think the girls, they still have their clothesline and all the public appearances that they have to make. They're hot.
Yeah, that's a hot commodity.
So
it's hard to
their schedule's always busy.
Well, I told him I'd ask him, so maybe he can try and see what can happen.
Maybe we can get lucky at the Gator Nationals. Maybe I'll be able to talk to John and Brittany and see if we can get them on at the hotel.
Oh yeah, at the Indigo or whatever they're staying.
Wherever they're staying, and see if we can get them on to talk about their qualifying efforts of the day. Mm-hmm. John actually done really good in qualifying out in Pomona for the last race of the year. He qualified second. So it goes to show you the old guy. He's still got it.
He's been doing that for a very long time.
And a lot of people say, "Hey, when is he going to retire?" And I state back from years ago. He said, when they put the last nail on the coffin is when he will retire.
Yeah.
And I really believe it. And you look at other drag racers like the Greek, Chris Carmesini. He raced all the way up to 86, I believe.
Wow.
86 or 84 years of age, and driving a Top Fuel car.
Trust me, when you do something like that, when it's time to retire, because your reflexes aren't the same.
Yeah.
As long as you have those reflexes, and you can still do what you do in that vehicle. Yeah, you're gonna want to put the foot to the floor.
And one of the things about these drivers, man, they're so very smart. I mean, like you were saying, John Force, he not only drives, man, he manages a team. He does all these other things. So they're just not driving. They're focused on other things as well, Mitchell, and that's what makes these guys good. And a commodity, like you said, like the Forces, shoot, man, it's hard to get them on because they're always busy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 Top Fuel cars besides his funny car and Robert's funny car that's competing. And there's a lot of moving parts there. I know years past when they were really loaded in Top Fuel and funny car, I think they spent about $30 million a year to run a full season for their cars. And, you think about the transporters that's got to take the cars and all the crew members. And, I mean, they got
to oversee all that stuff,
mechanics,
man.
machine shops,
everything. What if they're going to the Gator Nationals and old boy oversleeps or something and don't bring their car down? That would be trouble.
You'll never have that problem.
No, you're not going to have that problem.
Because they run tandem, so
they do.
They have 2 guys to a truck.
You're not going to have that problem.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that problem.
I'm just saying, it could happen. It's not that it could happen.
It could do
right? It could.
I don't think it will.
Yeah.
They always have a backup plan.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying.
Barring a bad accident.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, or something like that.
Right, and I tell you, when you have a really bad accident on the track with one of the cars, you mess up a chassis. They usually carry extra bodies, but if you mess up a chassis, they'll get on that phone right then and there, and they already have people at the shops on standby with another chassis in a truck to get it there before the next round of qualifying the next day.
Yeah.
I was more referring to a semi-accident.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, barring something crazy like that, which does happen, but it doesn't happen often.
No, and that's why I said it could happen. I know it never will happen because, like you said, these guys got way too much money. They got way too much to win for, too. You know, these guys aren't out there just to run to look pretty. You know, they're out there trying to win a championship, just like what you were saying about Erica Enders.
Oh, yeah.
Our girl, by the way.
And, and something that we haven't done, which, this thing is still kind of new. It's like a year and 8 months in.
Yep.
We're going to actually have awards for some of the drivers. And
Yep,
we're going to be getting that stuff made up and be presenting them to them either at the Gator Nationals, or if they prefer me to go ahead and send it to them by mail, I can do that. But kind of want to hold off to the Gator Nationals so I can present it, and we'll get a picture and stuff when we can put that up on the website. And what's really funny, we have one gentleman, he was really upset that I picked Erica Anders as the comeback driver of the year. But the thing is, it doesn't mean just because they had a bad year the year before.
Right.
It's about what they done during the season. And Erica started off in really rough shape. I think at one time they were as far down as 7th in points. First race of the season is at Gainesville, and it's going to be the first race again this year. I think that's going to be the ongoing thing now. Her car wouldn't start. Qualified well.
Remember that?
Car wouldn't start.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't start.
So in the elimination, so that put her out. And then they were chasing horsepower for half the season. And about midway of the season, she went out early, but you could see that they had the horsepower back because the mile per hour was back up around 210, 211 miles an hour. So they were making good horsepower. And man, after that, they were on kill.
So
and she was able to win a couple of races.
So let me ask you something. Let's move on to next year. And we got a couple of things right here that Mitchell does where he does his live streaming right here. What's coming up for next year? Just an overview real quick. I know we'll get into it as January and February comes, but me and you've talked, man. You've got a lot of events coming up that you're going to be going to either race or stream yourself.
That's correct. It looks like there's a possibility of live streaming some races in Rockingham, Darlington, Z-Max Raceway in Charlotte, that's where the 4-wide track's at. Probably South Georgia, and of course our usual stuff that we do at Gainesville. And then we live stream all the bracket races at Gainesville. I'm there anyway racing, so if you see this lineup like you see on there right now, I'm usually racing.
Yes, you are.
Because I'm doing something totally new than what we have done in the past, where we can give you a large screen and a small screen, and then we will flip it as the cars go by to give people a better view of the track. But I tell you what, to have the opportunities that I've had here in the past couple of months is just a blessing from God, because it's something that I love to do dearly. And now I will say it's very important to me, but it's not as important as my family. My family always comes first.
I meant, yeah.
And I want to put that out there. If anything, my family needs it. It comes over racing, even though it's a tough battle. So
well, we've talked about that too, and that's exactly right. First and foremost, you see his son right here. He's a family man. This guy cares about his family. When something comes up, if there's a race or whatever, and he can't make it, Byron, he's going to take care of his family first. And either you figure out how to get it done, or it doesn't happen, and you just come back the next time. You know what I mean? Because your family is first. Well, and it always has been.
And the genesis of this, Mitchell used to be the third person or the second person, either way you want to call it.
The other person, we're all hosts.
We had one of the other hosts on the show, and he did a lot of local stuff.
Oh man, did great too.
And a lot of it dealt with the schools, family.
Yeah.
And I tell you, my
let me ask something real quick. Yeah. Do you miss it sometimes sitting here with us?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know you do, man, because I can see it in your eyes. I miss you being here. We've talked about this, man.
We miss you, man. We miss Mitchell being able to come and do the show.
But of course, he's got scouts and other things going on.
Of course. This works good for you.
Yeah, because most of my stuff tends to be on the weekends and everything. And of course, I'm involved again this year. Pam Whittle got in contact with me just on a local level. Even though we're not going to be able to have vendors this year for Christmas on Call Street, we are going to continue the tradition of having the car show. And that also helps block the roads for the spectators for the parade to come in. They don't have to worry about trying to look around a vehicle to see floats and stuff and see the bands.
Are we having a
marching.
judging with the car show and everything like we normally do? We're going to have some awards, things
Yes,
like that?
we're actually looking at trying to up the ante on the awards.
Okay.
We got a meeting coming up here shortly to discuss those things, but really looking forward to doing that. It's all about networking and getting to know people and what their passions are, either it's in, what form of cars, if it's car shows, classics, or, drag racing, NASCAR, local circle tracks
Right.
around the area, like Ellisville.
Yep.
But
a couple of races just happened at Ellisville, by the way.
But yeah, it's been a fun ride, and I hope it continues going. I want to thank my co-host Robert Simpson. He does a great job, brings a lot of dynamics to the sport, which I kind of look into mostly NHRA, the pro stuff, and a little bit of the sportsman categories that they run at national events. Robert's more on the side of looking at big money bracket races, those winners. We had actually Tony Morris on a couple of weeks ago. I think the show was like almost
2 hours. Yeah, because, hey, it was on trivia night, and I looked, and I'm like, Mitchell's still on the daggum air.
We had quite a few followers on watching, and he basically gave some good feedback and technical advice with racers dealing with carburetors, and
Good.
It was, and he's a racer as well. He runs the Super Pro car dragster, and he just a super nice guy. He started over in Britain.
Don't you? I miss him, man.
Started over in Britain and traveled and raced over there in some of the tracks over in England and everything, and then him and his family moved over here to the States. And,
Hey, Mitchell, can you tell us a little bit about this scene right here? This is the first round. Looks like two dragsters. This is how you set your program up,
yes,
given two different views.
Right.
The beginning and the end.
right.
Showing the point spread up there as well. So
Right, it shows their indexes or their dial-ins is what we really call
exactly,
it
yeah.
for their cars. And when we do go to the other screen where we have the bigger one and the small one, if you look at it on the big television, on your big television, which is a smart TV, you can still actually see them doing the burnouts, getting lined up, and you can glance over and see what their dial-ins are down there on the board are. And Derek Putnam, he's announcing in the background. He gives a great breakdown of, a 10-pack, what kind of package they had. And that also deals with your reaction time, not just what you ran down the track to take the win. And
I tell you, I love going up there, and I need to make some time, too. I know we've all had a busy schedule. I used to love going up there with Mitchell because Derek Putnam, I used to love, and I still do, the way he calls those races.
Yeah.
I mean, he is sharp. He knows it. And he had asked me one time if I wanted to do that, and I'm like, heck no. And let me tell you why. First of all, Mitchell would have to give me a crash course on all this and diamonds, or he'd have to give me a crash course
Several times,
yeah, and 0.10 on the what? I'm like, you got to know that stuff, man. But hey, Derek Putnam, I'm gonna tell you what, man, he could be on television doing it.
Yeah,
he's good, man. He's good.
He's a natural at it, and if some people's heard of Derek Putnam, he's now writes articles and stuff for Sick the Mag, which is a publication that comes out 4 times a year that is talking about the drag and drive community. And these events are a little different than your regular drag racing events. These people actually drive to the track with their cars. They pull trailers. I'm talking about not slow cars. I'm talking about 6 second and 7 second fast cars in the quarter mile. And they will put on their radial tires to go roll from track to track and put their slicks on a trailer. We actually have a gentleman and his future wife right here in Bradford County that does it, Houston McLean.
Yep.
And
good old Houston.
And his future wife Katie, and they do the drag and drive things.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to see. And it was really funny this past year. They had Sick Week Florida. And where they involved Bradenton, Orlando, Gainesville, and South Georgia Motorsports Park, even though it's in Georgia, they would have to make all those drives between those tracks, and they have checkpoints that you had to check in at these points. So you had to drive the course that they give you. And it's just really remarkable to see them guys. They pull into the track, jack up the car, change the slicks, take the trailer off, and make their passes down the track. And if they get a time that they're really comfortable with and they like, they go back, they take the tires off, put the trailer back on,
Go to the next.
and they start traveling to the next track. It's
Wow.
it's really neat. They actually came through Brooker last year.
You remember
and
they came
people
through
was
Lake
asking-
Butler too. You remember
Yeah.
because I told you I was like, Mitchell, what is this? Me and Mitchell's on the phone. I'm like, what is this? He said, those sick cars, man.
That's the 6-week cars, the
Yes.
caravan. The caravan they were coming to Gainesville from South Georgia.
All right, so I got a couple of things for you before you go. First and foremost, I've got to talk to you because I may have a really good in for you, and it has to deal with donuts.
Oh, I like Krispy Kreme.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
We'll
I
get
may
it.
have an in where
Yeah.
maybe we can get everybody Krispy Kreme donuts. So we'll talk about that. I've been meaning to. Yeah, exactly.
seems
You
like-
love them too. I love
I
them
like
too.
your-
So does Byron.
I
Hey,
like
don't
the
let Byron fool you. He loves them too.
I like the pink ones more though.
You
Yeah.
like the pink frosted one?
I like the chocolate and of course the glaze, but yeah.
Give me the if
So-
we're gonna eat Krispy Kremes, let's eat the ones
I like
that are
all
hot.
flavors.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. The second thing is before you go, what do you think about tornado football?
Oh, I tell you what a wonderful season that they're having.
They had
I think they have scored in the last 4 games. I think I've seen 160 something points to 3.
152.
152 to 3.
Yeah, you were close. You were there.
And
It really
I'll tell you,
shouldn't have
it's
been.
just-
It really shouldn't have been any points, Mitchell. The field goal happened with no time on the clock.
We fumbled the ball. I think you heard it. I
Yes,
think we
yes.
fumbled the ball and they got it. And Colin Hall said, "No, we're going to put some points on the board."
Well, you know why I'm live streaming. I'm on my phone and I'll check in.
I knew it, man.
See
I
what's
knew
going
it.
on.
Yeah,
So I
I knew
will check
Yeah.
in from time to time, see what the score is and everything. But I tell you what, doing this with On the Spot Motorsports Media has helped me actually grow in the sport, get to know a lot of great people behind the scenes.
I'm so glad.
If I was scrolling through and looking at people who's been visiting the page. Dan Fletcher, well-known drag racer, sportsman racers, won a lot of national championships. I've had. I got them right here.
Do you? Let's get him on the
See.
phone. What was you going to say, Zane? You like Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, but that wasn't the question.
Oh, okay. What's the question?
At our school, there was tornado football team.
Yes,
Yeah,
there
they-
was, and the cheerleaders too, right?
Cheerleaders and
Yep.
them.
They may be there again this Friday too. You know that?
they may be.
They may be.
And we got a wonderful picture.
You got pictures with
Yeah,
them?
they gave
cool.
them team pictures.
Yeah, and
one
they
side
signed
is
them,
the
right?
team, the other side is the cheerleaders.
Did you get a chance to see Chasen Clark, number 10?
Number 10?
So-
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
He
saw
said,
all
oh,
of them.
yeah.
I saw all of them. But some of them.
Number 1. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mitchell,
But we actually, Wes Buck has, been looking on the page as well. Dan Fletcher,
That's a big one.
Coletta has been on the page.
wow.
Hunter Green, and then his dad that done very well this past weekend.
Erica
Been
follows
on
you
the
too.
page. Oh yes, yeah.
Erica
they
follows
check
you.
in. The free.
And what's your
a
sister's
few of the
name?
Freemans. Courtney.
Courtney. Yes, Courtney. How's Courtney doing, by the way?
She's doing good. She's a firecracker.
Yes,
You
she
know,
is.
She's still working for Flow Racing, and doing all the PR stuff for her sister behind the scenes as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So two big full-time jobs is
That interview with Courtney was excellent, man. I want to interview her and Erica again, man. I want to be with you. Me and all of us want to be with you when you do that the next time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, because man, I'll tell you, I love her, man. I love all of them.
Yeah, and one of the big stories I've wrote about him a couple of times is Gage Herrera. he only raced like 3 races last year.
Is that my motorcycle guy?
Yeah, and
Yep.
the only thing was, since he ran those 3 races at the end of the season, it disqualified him for being Rookie of the Year for a Pro Stock motorcycle. But he broke the record, 11 wins in a single season.
Didn't he break the track record at Gainesville too that day we were there?
He's broken several.
Several days. Yeah, I figured
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I figured that.
Probably got tired of writing them down. And all the number 1 qualifiers that he had, I think he qualified for every race as a number 1 qualifier, except for maybe 2.
Wow.
Wow.
So just a real nice guy, and he came up running bikes in other classes, and he had the opportunity to jump on with Vance and Hines, and he took it, and that was kind of like Angel's seat. And now Angel, she has moved on to other things. She's running now Top Alcohol Dragster. She ran the last couple of races in that car and done extremely well. Qualified high, went to a semifinal in Las Vegas last week at a Lucas Oil race, and she's progressing really well. And she's going to run the Top Alcohol class all next year,
Right.
in 2024, and then make the switch over in 2025 to Top Fuel with Antron Brown. And it's for Antron and Angel, it's like getting a team back together again as they were teammates back in the day with Don Schumacher Racing when they were sponsored by Army.
There's another name.
Go ahead.
Schumacher is another name.
Yeah.
Mitchell, this doesn't have anything to do with drag racing, but it has to do with local short track racing, like you were talking about. I drove by Bronson Raceway the other day.
It's sad, isn't it?
It is really sad. Have you heard anything about somebody reopening that?
I have not. I look at it once a week because I have to drive over there to Bronson, and it's just really sad to see that the grass has grown all up. I mean, at one time it was a nice facility, high banks.
Yeah, it's
real high banks.
Yep.
And turns, and I don't know what happened to the whole ordeal, but a lot of racers have given up on asphalt, and they're racing on dirt. once again, and so and I try to do my best to keep up with what Brody does, my nephew, with the Legend Series. He's been on a hot streak here lately.
He has.
4 races, 4 wins, and he's getting ready to go up Thanksgiving weekend to running a race.
I knew he was. I knew that was going to happen
too,
because he's a good driver, and he kept on building and building and building, and he was coming in second place, and I knew it was coming.
I'm gonna go back to what I said and what we all said when you was on the show, man. I think this young man has got a chance to get in one of those NASCARs. In one of those cars, I'm telling you, man, somebody's watching him. I can assure you, and I'm sure that they hear the chatter here and there. But that young man can get in the car and go, man. I know he can drive NASCAR for sure.
Well, I know that he would like to get into the super late model scene and start racing in that. And actually, was able to sit down with Tony Stewart a little bit at the past Gator Nationals, and we talked about super late models and talked about how hard it is to find marketing partners to come on board with you. And, like Tony said, years ago, there wasn't a really big market for super late models, that it was pretty easy to get sponsorships.
Right.
Or I don't like to use sponsorships. I like to use marketing
partners, yeah.
To come on board, but they have flooded that type of dirt track racing, or even the asphalt aspect of it, that they've dried up the industry as far as sponsors. So it's really hard.
Wow.
There we go. I said it again. Sponsors.
Yeah, sponsors. Yeah.
They've been called sponsors for so long.
Yeah.
All right, Mitchell Gunner with us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad he can stop by. I really miss him here on the show. He used to be like Byron was saying, man, you need to know something locally. This cat knew it, man, and he still knows it. And we miss you on those kind of things, brother.
Yeah.
But I understand with the scouts and things that's going on with you and your family, that what you're doing. And by the way, that studio is at his home. You need to go in there. I haven't seen it since you've even put that other stuff up. I need to stop by and
There's
see
some
it.
more stuff in there.
And there's some more stuff in there that I need to see.
You want to know what's really funny? My office is starting to look like it now.
Is it your office? Is it?
Yes.
So hey, you could probably do this show from your office one day. But anyway, yeah. So he does it from his home, and we really appreciate what he does. That's why I wanted to bring him on here for a few minutes. And you know, brother, I've told you. You got an open invite here. I know Scouts is going on, but if you want to get in here and talk some local stuff and what's going on, you know, man, you got the open invite right here.
Well, I tell you what, Zane's been doing really well in Scouts, and I think he's only 2 badges away, and he'll earn his Arrow of Life.
And I want to, get all badges.
But he wants more. But he's already got all the electives that he really needed. But he only actually has 2 of the major badges he has to do to accomplish that goal.
Is that your shirt?
And so.
Can we see your shirt?
It's all folded up. Mitchell's going to have to unfold it. But anyway, Byron, I'll tell you, I miss a brother. There, look at there. Man, he's got all kinds of stuff there.
Looks like
Was there a Weeblo thing there?
He
Did I just see that Weeblo right here? Weeblo's right here.
Yes, Weeblos.
Yeah,
and
there
he's
you
already
go.
earned that badge, even though Dad hadn't got it sewed onto the pocket yet. But I'm going to work on that this weekend.
See, busy schedule. You see, he's trying to bounce everything. But Mitchell, thank you, brother.
Oh, no problem.
Come here, man. I love you, brother.
Mitchell, it was good seeing you.
I just
I'm
want
really
to.
trying to collect all the badges.
I just
in the world.
want to say something really quick about what's going on in our government and the things that we have been seeing on TV that really upsets me. And our people in the Senate and the Congress, they need to start. You're seeing some of the Democrats turn on each other, and that goes to show you there's a difference between the Democrats and the radicals up there in Washington, D.C. Like Talib, for one, is okay with shouting hate and stuff at a rally.
A rally. Mm-hmm.
And, to me, that's inciting.
Hate. Yeah, of course.
Yes. Because,
and violence.
Yeah, and, they're not just saying from the river to the sea to get rid of the Israeli people, but they're also saying that they hate us. And they're doing it on college campuses. That is really making me question these universities, and I'm glad these big money donors are taking action and saying, "Hey, you're not getting no more money from me."
Yeah.
But what the government really needs to do is go into those universities and find out who those students are, and if they're here on visas, they're not protected by the amendments that we are protected by. They're here as visitors.
Yeah.
And those visas can be revoked. Mm-hmm. And they can be told they have to leave the country and be made to leave the country.
Exactly.
Well, and if they start doing that, you'll see a lot of this crap stop. And Britain needs to do the same thing, and so does France. And you think we got it bad here? It's really bad in Britain and France.
Britain and France.
Yeah.
The other thing that they need to do when they go in and get those students that are on visas like that are causing all this, they need to figure out the Marxist professors that are backing that and allowing and sponsoring those rallies and helping those students prepare for those rallies, and they need to be removed from the system and not be able to be a professor anymore at any university.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
they got to get rid of the tenure.
Well, you can't get rid of tenure for multiple reasons. That's a crazy subject there. But the thing about it is if you're actually preaching that hate in your classroom and you are brainwashing your students into believing what these people are saying, you no longer should be able to be a professor at any college or any university anywhere.
Well, and another thing, I'm also disgusted about, Chi is coming to California, and so they go out there and they clean up all the mess on the streets and stuff, and scatty off the homeless, pick up all the needles and the feces off the sidewalks, but they won't do it for their own people, but they'll do it for leaders coming into the country.
Yeah.
Marxist leader from a communist nation that still actually has slaves.
And another thing, I know that we don't want to see no real bad war break out in the Middle East, but I'm afraid we're already headed that way now. because all these proxy groups for Iran keep on firing on our U.S. troops, and we just the other day we hit a target that killed some of their jihadists or whatever you want to call them there in Syria. But I tell you what, you want to really stop it? You want to really stop this mess, Joe Biden? Go fly over there to Iran and knock out a couple oil refineries, and I guarantee you that the bull crap will stop.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's another way you can stop it. Get out of the way. Get completely out of the way and let Israel do what Israel does.
Yep.
Leave them alone. Let them defend themselves.
And they're doing a heck of a job at it, by the way. They are destroying Hamas like you wouldn't believe right now.
And quit broadcasting Hamas's and Palestine's propaganda. Oh, they blew up kids. Well, you quit putting terrorist cells in the middle of schools and mosques and hospitals, and you won't have that problem. That is your doing. That blood's on your head, not Israel's.
And I tell you what Israel's trying to do with the one hospital now. They're trying to evacuate all those newborns and everybody out of those hospitals. I mean, they don't want to kill these innocent people. And they're going to keep on trying to say that they are, but they're not. They're trying to rescue them.
Hamas is blocking everything to get out of there. I mean, look, they're down on the southern border right there on Egypt, and they can't let these guys get across because Hamas is killing them also.
Yeah.
The problem is if they choose where they move those cells, where their leaders are, to populations that are not terrorists. They move them to hospitals. They move them to mosques. They move them to schools on purpose because they don't care about their lives.
No.
And they know that if they get blown up, it's a propaganda tool to continue on doing what they're doing, to go, Israel is such a bad place, and they are
well, they throw the blame. They're throwing the blame back on this.
And then what happens is our media picks up on it.
Yep.
And they rebroadcast that propaganda crap.
Yeah, instead of the facts.
Instead of the facts.
Just like
partly our communications are to blame for spreading that propaganda. They're backing Hamas. NBC, ABC, most certainly, the ones we talk about all the time are doing that. And it's ridiculous. Oh, they killed. Well, why? Why would Israel do that? Well, you come to find out that there was a terrorist cell inside of that had plopped themselves there because they knew that as soon as Israel hit that terrorist cell, they could use that as propaganda. And those men they're not men, they're demons. Those people that do that don't care.
You don't even want me to say what
I die for the cause.
Same thing, nothing.
I go to heaven and get my virgins. Literally. If I die, I go get my virgins. Got some news for you.
And it's really terrible, too, because of our border being open and how many people have came across the border. They don't know how many of, people that are a part of Hamas or any of the other proxy groups out of Iran
Look at all the
have
Chinese.
been here in the United States. And I'm going to tell you, you're not going to have hard targets being taken down this time. There's so many of them here in the United States. When they get ready to start attacking, and I really believe there are. Unfortunately, I don't want it to, but they probably will. They're going to mess with the railroad system, try to derail trains with toting chemicals that are harmful. Yeah. They're going to hit hospitals. They're going to hit neighborhoods, schoolhouses.
Mitchell, do you know what the first target I heard that they were going to hit? And this is just coming from analysts and people like that on the news.
Sources, probably.
Well, water was one. They want to take down the electrical grid.
Yeah,
if they take down the electrical grid, this country's in dire trouble.
That's what they said. They said
live without electricity.
Yeah.
Without electricity, you don't have what?
Water.
internet, plumbing.
Internet. Yeah.
No phone.
Hey, none of this.
No
None of
plumbing.
this.
You have
No
plumbing.
communications.
Yeah. No. Nothing. So that was one of the.
And if it happens, it's on this administration's hands.
When
Yeah.
it
100%.
when it happens, I know I will not be the only one doing this, and I truly mean this. I will come out of my home with my firearms, and I won't
Oh, yeah.
stop. I won't.
You know the whole thing. I don't know if I'll get us in trouble for saying this, but Americans are getting sick and tired of it, and the American people, we are the largest military in the world,
Absolutely.
and I tell you, it may take a good 150,000 people to go down to the border and line it up from Texas all the way to California and stop these people from coming into this country.
Yeah.
Because we have the basic right. The Second Amendment right says what? To protect yourself from foreign and domestic enemies. And those are domestic enemies because they are foreign enemies because they are not coming in here the proper way that was set up for them to come in here, to apply for a visa, come in here the right way, work, pay their taxes, work on their citizenship, and become citizens. And I tell you, the people who have done it right, they are ticked off. They
absolutely.
are mad about it. They do not want them to come here in this country in a different fashion than what they've done because they paid their dues and done everything that we wanted to do. And I'll tell you, all these people who have used food stamps and services like that, I don't have no problem with it. If you need it, that's fine. But these people coming in here, being put up in hotels, and the government paying for it, where do you think the food bill's coming from? It's going to take it out of that fund, and you ain't going to have no food stamps to take care of you because it's going to be taking care of those who don't belong here in this country in the first place.
Hey.
We need to start loading them up on boats and taking them back to the border. I mean, buses, taking them back to the border and telling them to walk back across. And the United States need to take an option up with Mexico and say, Mexico, we're not putting up with these cartels no more. We are tired of it. We're tired of the trafficking, human trafficking coming in and the drug traffic. We are going to come in and we're going to take them out just like we done down in Colombia.
Yeah.
Here is what I would the other thing that's going on, and when people hear this, they don't believe this, but they're being taught online.
There's an app.
There's an app that teaches them how to apply for asylum.
Stop.
They're put in different places inside of the United States and told to come back 10 years later, or maybe it's 12. It's either 10 or 12 years later for your hearing. Where are they going? What are they doing in the meantime?
Yeah.
All they got to do is apply for asylum, and they just let them go inside the United States.
And the only thing is these people are going to vote in elections in these states, and it's going to screw up the whole due process that is supposed to be done. That is stated the way it's supposed to be done.
Well, they're already allowing in New York. They're already allowing people that are not citizens to vote in, and not only the local elections but the national elections too.
Well,
do you want to know what this comes down to? Y'all and man, y'all are hitting the nail right on the head there. Let me tell you what this all just comes down to. We have nobody with any cojones right now to stop any of this stuff that you're talking.
We do. The American people.
Yeah, let me go back because I agree. The problem is, who starts this? Do you start it? Do I start it? Does he start it? Do you see what I'm saying? You're talking a civil war. Absolutely.
Well, the only ammunition we have is a vote.
Well, it's not a civil war because we're actually not fighting our people.
Well, yes, we will be. I assure you we will be because you know why? Do you know why I say that, Mitchell? Because everybody doesn't believe like we believe. And they're going to be fighting against us along with those other idiots that we've got, like you were just talking about right there. This is going to turn in, gentlemen, to a civil war. I see it coming. Yes, we're going to fight the enemy as well, but you're going to be fighting two wars.
David, I don't know if it will come to that because
we will become a third world country if it doesn't stop.
If that doesn't stop. Yeah.
Honestly, if they hit the water sources or if they hit the electric grid, David, I doubt very seriously it will be a civil war, because the people that you are talking about that do not agree with us, do you think they're going to live very long after that happens?
Well, no.
Not in these
because
cities, they won't.
but what's going to happen is let's take what's going to happen. Mitchell, y'all have said it before. They're going to rob and get everything they can from the inner cities. They're going to take all the food, everything that they can get their hands on, and then once that runs out, David, where are they coming?
They're coming for you.
They're coming here. They're coming for you and your supplies, and they're going to come in bunches.
My individual home, your home.
Your home. They're coming, and guess what? We're going to all have to team up together at some point and go, hey, let's bust some of these people in their ass.
And when that happens from a place you cannot see, will come a sound you will not hear.
Yeah,
from me, I can promise you that will be coming.
I tell you, it's not looking good, and that's what this is all about.
Yeah, it is.
But
and Mitchell, you're exactly right.
A lot of it might fail, because a lot of people who's coming from these other countries here, they have been in governments that have been Marxist and everything, and that's the reason why they're running. So it may flip on them.
It may
flip. Vote Republican.
You may be right.
But still, that's still not right. They should not be voting if they're not U.S. citizens.
Well, there's a lot. We are talking about a lot of very serious problems with our federal government, and there is a simple answer to it. Look at your representative and go, you as a state organization need to look at our federal government and go, that state is allowing people who are not citizens to vote in our elections. You should not accept their electoral college votes. And if you do, there is going to be hell to pay from our state.
Well, like Mitchell was saying, he put it right in simple terms. This is on you, administration. The administration that's going on right now. This is on you.
Mayorkas. Well, and I'll tell you, you can be mad with Mayorkas all you want, but Mayorkas, all he's doing is taking the orders that is given to him from the Biden administration, handing down to him.
Hey, do you really think Joe Biden is running this country?
No.
I guarantee you, Mayorkas probably doesn't like anything that's going on, but he's going to keep his mouth shut, and he's going to do what his boss tells him to do because he likes that nice paycheck.
Yeah,
he likes his power and he likes the money.
Hang on for you. We're going to continue this here in a minute. Mitchell, thank you for stopping by, man.
I'm glad I was able to get Byron all riled up over there.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get him riled up some more.
Hey, anytime we talk about this, this nonsense that goes on, I get riled up because this is nothing about the American people. This is our government. They're supposed to be actually taking care of us, not somebody else. And they're taking care of other people.
I'm glad that Mitchell brought that up because that was a subject we was going to bring up anyway. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about tornado football because I wanted to give those boys props. But like you said, unless you've been living under a rock and don't know what the heck is going on, you better open up your eyes because what these two gentlemen have said all night is about to happen. And like you said, I hope it doesn't, Mitchell. I hope it doesn't and pray it doesn't.
Unless we replace half the government in this next election, it is coming.
It is coming.
And the thing is, people, they're being indoctrinated in the colleges to vote a certain way.
Of course they are.
By giving them a bunch of false information.
All right, Mitchell. See you, Zane.
Hey, thanks, Mitchell. Appreciate you coming, man.
Don't forget, Mitchell's show Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Hey, big guy, I love you. Hey, I know you like Krispy Kreme donuts, man. Tell Dad to get you some tomorrow on the way home.
And here is the quote of the night.
Hey, Mitchell, I'll give you a ring.
All right. Here is the quote of the night.
Yeah, let's go quote of the night.
You ready for this?
Yep.
And if you don't think it revolves around what we just talked about, you need to sit back and think about it when I say it.
Okay.
Liberty will not long survive the total extinction of morals.
Man, that's right on the head there. That's powerful, brother. That's powerful. Let me see. Did the Founding Fathers say that?
Sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
Not exactly a founding father.
No.
Associated with him.
Associated.
Must be a wife.
Nope. Father. Father of the founding fathers.
Father
of one of the founding fathers.
Father of one of the founding.
Adams,
Which one?
one of them, the father.
Is it JQA or is it JA?
Right.
Is it John Quincy or John Adams?
I'll give you another hint. Every once in a while, you enjoy a cold one. That's
Yeah, Samuel
brewed
Adams.
by the gentleman.
Yeah, Samuel Adams, yeah.
Or, well, not really, but look, that says it all. These people that are doing this are moralless, and they preach the lack of morals in our communities. Now, that being said, anytime anybody thinks about morals, you're a Christian. Well, no, that's not necessarily true either. Jewish people have morals. There are some morals actually in the Muslim religion too. Things you do, things you don't do. It all boils down back to that. What is right and what is wrong?
Yep.
And I know people have different opinions on what is right and what is wrong, but you actually letting people in this country that want to kill us is wrong. A man sitting in the president's office that actually is not running this country is wrong.
David, Byron, let me tell you something.
Running the country is the wrong term for
And
that.
people that's...
But the head of the government, he's not the head of the government. He's not the head of, he couldn't be the head of an ice cream truck. I mean, it's simple. All you can do is listen to him.
Let me say this, and I lost my train of thought there, B. You're
Sorry.
good. No, you're good. You're good. So, if you don't think those cells that he's talking about aren't here right now,
They're here.
you're about as naive as anybody that I've ever known in my whole life. Though they're here, they can pull the trigger at any time on anything in any location. We just hope we better have enough intel to be able to stop it, because I'm telling you right now, there is so many cells of all kinds of terrorist groups, Byron, like you said, Hamas, Hezbollah, even some of ISIS is still around. The Taliban is still around in a small way.
Well, the Taliban's still around in a big way in
Afghanistan,
because of the way this idiot and the people that are pulling his strings left Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I mean, and he left our weapons so they have our weapon technology. Think about that for a second. If you don't think that China got a hold of that and said, okay, we'll sell it back to you after we produce it, but we want that technology. Guess what? They have our technology because of that moron.
That person.
No, that moron. I'll stand by that statement. That moron that left Afghanistan. You got Americans killed by the way you left. Didn't listen to some of the generals that were saying this is ridiculous, evacuating from where you evacuated from, and then left our technology there for them to steal. How is that not an act of a moron?
And I agree. And I don't know if Facebook's going to shut us down. They may. We'll take it. We'll take it. Because you know what? They're looking for something to hit us on anyway.
That's
Dwight Allen gets shut off. That's 15,000 for less said than that.
That's my opinion on the man.
Yeah.
And you call it hate speech if you want to, but if you look at the facts, you don't give your enemies your military technology. That in itself qualifies that statement.
Yep.
Well, he didn't give it to the devil. He didn't. He left it there for them to take.
They give so much money away. Take that money that you're giving away to these other countries and spend it to bring that stuff back.
They just gave billions of dollars to Iran.
I don't understand that.
They give billions of dollars to Iran, and the next thing we know, we about are in a war in the Middle East because guess who is attacking Israel? Iran's proxy fighters, Hamas. You start seeing correlations between what we do and what happens all over the world. That's because there is a correlation. And people can say what they want to, but if you don't think those mullahs are going to take that money and spend it on killing Americans and killing Jewish people and killing anybody that doesn't agree with them and killing anybody else that's a different sect of Muslim because they kill each other too, if you don't think that's going to happen, you are crazy, because those people are shot out religious fanatics that will kill anybody. They're trying to start another the third caliphate and blow up the world, trying to make Allah reappear.
If you get rid of the money, then it's worthless to them too.
Well, Trump had it right. Donald Trump had this absolutely right. And people go, oh, here we're going to go. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. He cut the money source off. And he quit buying their oil. And he about bankrupted the whole entire country. It was falling in. Their own people were about to take over their country. And then Joe Biden shows up and starts giving them more money and starts buying oil from them again. Now you tell me what that tells you. Where are his loyalties? What does he want?
His loyalty is his pockets. His pockets. And that's what it's all about. It's power. When you have money, Byron, you have power.
Yeah.
Because why? You can buy what you need to make you powerful. In this case, Hamas, what you were just talking about. Who is, me and you talked about that. I'm going to give you a Who is funding Hamas, Byron?
Well, Iran's funding Hamas.
Absolutely. Where did Iran get the money?
They're getting it from us. And the sale of their oil. It's the only thing they have is oil.
Do you see this?
Unless you want to talk about cashmere sweaters, but they're not getting the money out of cashmere sweaters. They're getting out of the money out of the oil that they're selling all over the world that we had put a stop to. And they're getting... Do you see the circle, the vicious circle that is going? Do you see how this is all filtering back to us? Do you see that? It's all filtering back to us. Oh, we're not doing anything. No, we're giving Iran a crap load of money. Iran has got, what did he say? They're little militia fighters, if you want to call them Hamas, they're terrorists or whatever the hell they are. And they're causing all this trouble. And then just vicious, like he said, now letting everybody in through the borders, and it's coming right back to us, man. It's a circle, and the circle started here, and it ends here. And what end that is, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Byron has hit it, and Mitchell has probably hit it on the head. But there is, I'm telling you, this is coming. It's coming. I hope it does it, like Byron and Mitchell said. I hope it does it. But this is coming. And I'm telling you, when it hits, you thought 9/11 was bad? Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. 9/11 is not going to be anything compared. I can solve the entire problem right now. You ready? Here's how you solve it. And a lot of people will tell me I am absolutely crazy. We reenact probably one of the most misunderstood doctrines that has ever been implemented in America.
I know what you're talking about.
And it was written by Thomas Jefferson from Monroe. We reenact the Monroe Doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
We will trade with certain nations. We will choose who we will trade with. You leave us alone, we leave you alone, and we build ourselves for 10 or 12 years back up to what we should be. And then we come back in and go, now if you mess with South America or you mess with us during that time period, we are going to blow you off the map. Period. That's how you do that. Yeah. We rebuild our pharmaceutical industry. We rebuild our industrial industry. We stop giving money to everybody, including the UN, including NATO. And we go, it's you. You figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would cause the world to go into shambles. Are there no responsible men in any of these countries that can't help solve their problems? I find that really hard to believe with the intelligence that is around this world, that there are no responsible men who couldn't look at it and go, okay, we no longer have it. What are we going to do? We have to cut this, and this, and we have to increase this, and this.
Well, here's the problem with a lot of that, B, and here we go. And I'm going to throw this to you. Let's take Africa, for instance. A lot of these African nations. I get it. I
don't care. And the reason I don't care about that is because those people have put themselves in that spot through a lot of bad circumstances and just pure wicked, evil malice.
Militants, and you took the words right out of my mouth. Militants are running those countries right there. And their governments has not stepped in. And you were talking about innocent civilians. I'm going to throw that out there to you, too. There is people there that are innocent civilians that should be taking care of themselves, getting their governments to take care of them. The problem is their governments can't fight these militant groups because they've got a stronghold on everything over there. And we talking about innocent lives. I'm just throwing it out there to you. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't be self-sufficient, but there is innocent lives there as well as there is in Israel, as well as there is in Palestine, as well as there is in Ukraine. Where does the buck stop?
Well, the buck stops for me is for real simple. Is this: why are we responsible for it?
I didn't say we're responsible.
Then why should we be responsible for it? Why don't we let other countries handle the problem? And I'm saying to you, I know we're probably still the most powerful nation in the world, but why is it our responsibility to fix the world's problems? Why is it that? Why can't we go back to fixing our own problems and fix all our own problems and then go back to worrying about what the rest of the world do? Well, you would have tyrants running everywhere.
Tyrants are running.
They're running everywhere right now.
Right now, yeah.
I mean, you look at what's going on in Iran, Syria, in the Middle East, and now with Hamas in Israel. Mm-hmm. The Palestinians. There's been tyranny in this world forever. Why is it our responsibility to solve the world's problems when we can't even fix our own problems?
No, I fully agree there.
We need to fix our problems before we go messing with anybody else's.
Yeah.
And that's what we, as Americans, we can't seem to get through our heads because we have big hearts and we care about everybody. And I understand that. I understand that perspective. I really do, David.
Yeah.
But we have to fix what's wrong with this country before we start messing around with other things.
Yeah. And you're exactly right, B. And I was just saying from the humanitarian side of things, and I know
if you don't think Americans would not donate money
I believe you that, yeah,
to help fix those problems, you're wrong. But our government is supposed to take care of us, and they don't.
Right.
Period. Before they take care of anybody. Why are we giving billions of dollars to all these other countries? Why are we propping up tyrants? Why are we doing that? I know where part of that come from. Part of it came from the CIA when they were setting up puppets to stop other tyrants. It's what Saddam Hussein was. He was a puppet of our CIA at one point. Same thing was going on in Afghanistan. A lot of people don't know the history of this. Guess who was backing that group that's over there now that was killing a bunch of Americans when they were fighting the Russians for years? Mm-hmm. That was our CIA that was doing this. Stop it. Completely stop it. Quit throwing money into it. Fix our problems first, because you can't apparently do both at the same time.
Here's the problem. We got our government up there that is trying to lace their own pockets. They don't really care about anything. Not all of them. There is some of them that do care about what's going on in this country. They're lacing their pockets. They're, like you said, if you got money, you're rich. What is that? You got power. When you got power, then guess what? You can seem to do what you want to do.
They twist people's minds with their words. Yes. To make them believe that they care about them. Here's another one. You ready for this? How strangely will the tools of a tyrant pervert the plain meaning of words? There's another one. Same person.
Yeah.
We see both of those things going on. And if we don't get it under control, and I mean the American people don't get it under control, we're going to have some issues, David.
You know, I agree with you, and I
don't
like
want to come out my house with a gun, David, and start.
No, of course not.
I don't want to do that. But if I have to, and it comes down to it, I most certainly will.
You know, David, are we still live? Okay. Awesome.
David's afraid I got us cut off now.
No. I'm like, okay, they're coming back now. Okay. I was like, when did we lose our people? Anyway, look, let me just read a couple of things. David Rodgers says, join Oath Keepers, my brothers. Okay. Not a moron. He's sick and just a puppet who does what he's told. That's from your mama. Son, you are right. You're a right nut. Both of you talk to us and tell us a solution. But she likes what we said. Sam, she also said, totally agree with you, Byron. These countries have had these problems for centuries. Take care of America. We have so many here in America that need help. Homeless veterans, our children. I could go on and on. And you're exactly right, Sam Sheila Allstott, because you know what? That's right. That is what we preach, and I keep preaching when we talk about our country and how we are and the deficits that we're in. You know, you can ride down the streets of any town or any city, but mainly your bigger, larger cities, and you see a big-ass homeless population that we're not taking care of. Now, you got to help yourself to do that, too. Now, you got to be able to help yourself if you can. If you can't, then we need to be able to provide some help for these people. Like she was saying, the veterans. How many homeless veterans do you see each and every day? That saddens me, man. I'm a dadgum veteran. Your dad's a veteran. You're about as close to a veteran. Dave's a veteran. I'm telling you, that right there upsets me more than anything.
David, they could spend the money in a house for every single homeless veteran
in this country.
That they spend, and I think the study was like 1 week. They could do that and keep those people in those homes, the home, the electricity, and food for that vet for the money that they spend in like 1 week.
I see, Byron.
On nonsense.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother. I back you on that one. Let me tell you what else I hate seeing. I hate seeing children. And I know they show children from all over the world. And like you said, we got to take care of our own first. There should not be a child in this United States, David and Byron, that don't get a meal or 3 square meals each and every day. But you hear the same crap every day about some kid being hungry. Why? Tell me why. You tell me why, because go ahead,
because our government controls our food output. The bottom line to that is our government controls our food output because they want to make people money. Period.
Yeah.
This country could grow enough food in I think it was six months, a year to feed the world. It was a year to feed the world for 12 years or something crazy like that.
We have enough food in silos, Byron. Me and you've talked about this. Enough food in silos right now to feed not just the United States, every man, woman, and child in the whole world for the next 30 years. Where is it? What are we doing with it? Why are we hoarding it? Let's get it on here. Let's feed everybody. Let's get these veterans a good meal. Let's get these veterans a place to live. I'm sick and tired of seeing this garbage. And
it went right back to what I was saying. We need to make our government take care of the American people before they take care of anybody else. Oh, $1 billion to Iran. $500 million to South Africa. I'm just throwing numbers.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just throwing different places. Horse crap.
Horse crap. Yeah, I agree.
Our debt is what, 69 trillion now?
Yep. It's a little over 69 trillion.
9 trillion, and we're still giving money to other governments in other countries. Why are we doing that? You couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't go, okay, I've got this credit card. It's got $10,000 on it. I've maxed it out. Give me another credit card. Oh, yeah, okay, you're going to give me one more. Okay, I got another credit card. They're not going to let you do that for long. Till they're going to go, where's the money?
We're coming on 8:30 local. Again, welcome on the spot with David Rodgers. I know Mitchell got us a little fired up. I think he wanted us to get a little fired up. I did want to talk most of the show about tornado football. But you know what? Honestly, though, we needed to talk about this subject because, David, I don't know how you feel about it. I know you process things different than me and Byron do, but I think in the overall scheme of things, I think you agree with what
I live in
we've
this
said.
country too.
You live in this
Whatever
country.
affects you and you
Affects
me.
you. And that's exactly right. And hey, we all got big hearts. I know this man's got a big heart.
Look,
You got a big
I don't
heart.
want to see anybody starve.
Starve? What? No.
I don't want to see anybody starve.
No.
But look, if we can't take care of our own first, then we don't need to be taking care of the world.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. You're right. We need to take care of our own first. Hey, if we've got our own situated, okay, we'll try to take on some more if we can.
And look, I'm not saying that as to you as individual citizens. That is your money. You should
right.
be able to do with your money what you want to. If you want to send it to those causes, send it to those causes. I'm talking about our tax money that comes from our government.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be going anywhere but here. And it is. It's going other places.
Well, and let's see. We have so many here. Okay. Oh, yeah, Mark Hootie. We'll talk about that for just a few minutes. Sam Shee said it all starts at home. Amen. Awesome show tonight, fellas. Right up my alley. We as a people have to start standing up for what is right. Stop standing on the sidelines and letting this happen. I agree. Gosh, Lee, man. You know, we're just 1, 2, 3 people here. But, you know, if we all come together and work together, we can make this happen. And like Byron said, we've got to get these guys that don't want to be or that just want to lace their pockets in our government out of here. Get some people in there that is willing to work for the people and see these problems up front and let these guys get a shot at it. These guys, Byron, that have tenure and tenure and tenure, let's get rid of these people. But what? They don't want to vote them out. So
Well, here's the thing about this.
they
Dave.
can't vote them out.
The other thing you're going to have to break the back of is the
100%,
bureaucrats up there. The ones that really write the legislation are not the senators and the Congress people anymore. It's a group of bureaucrats that they actually have on their staff.
Yeah.
That needs to end. If you're not smart enough to do that your own legislation, maybe with the exception of a lawyer to make sure that of all the legal mumbo jumbo and all the other stuff that revolves around a piece of legislation, if you're not smart enough to write that piece of legislation on your own, you don't belong up there.
Nope.
Period. And I know a bunch of people will probably look at me and go, you're crazy with all that stuff that they have to know. A bill should be a page and a half, 2 pages, not 450, not 1,000. It should be a 2-page bill. That way I can look at it, or you can look at it, or anybody else in this country can look at it and go, okay, I understand what that's saying. I like that, or I don't like that.
All right, Mark, I know, man. You've been David and Byron. I think at a 11-0 Bradford County Tornadoes are deserving of a sideline 2023 kind of consideration. David, the voice of the Tornado, Chuck of the radio station, y'all are all doing great, and we talked about this. Thank you, and we did talk about that.
My Lord, thank you for getting me off of that. That always makes my blood pressure go through the roof. And you don't know how big of a smile I have on my face when I call these football games every single
Friday night, man.
Love it, man.
These boys, and you're right, and me and Byron talked with David a little bit about it. Yeah, they're absolutely deserving of that. And maybe, well, I don't want to sound too confident. I think the Tornadoes take care of business this Friday. Maybe next week, maybe, David, we can take the show over to the football field after practice and let some of these boys come on. Let the coaches come on, and let's make it a tornado-type show. Talk about some of the stuff we talked about because it's very important. We need to talk about those things. You know what I mean? Talk about what's going on locally. And let's see if we can make it a tornado sideline show like Mark Goody just said. I think that would be great. I think it would showcase some of our young men. It would showcase some of the coaches that people don't know, that we know. I just think it'd be a great show. What do you think? You're the producer, Dave. Talk to me.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. Byron? All right, guys. It's 8:35 local time. We're going to get ready to wrap up the show. Byron? As always, baby.
Hey, brother. I got one more thing I need to say.
Okay.
And it's something that we say all
Oh, yes. Go say it. Go Big Red! And that's exactly right what B said. And look, thank you for joining the show. I'm glad Mitchell was able to stop in. Please tune into his show Thursday at 7 o'clock. Gotta like, if you're, like I said, if you're a race car enthusiast, man, that's your show right there. Go on there and join him at 7 o'clock. He's got a special guest this week along with his co-host. David, I want to thank you for producing the show, man. You do a wonderful and great job. I want to also thank you for Tornado Football. Some of those camera shots that you got and a couple of those games that you did were absolutely outstanding.
They were
if
great.
you go back and look, you'll see the numbers, as I tell you. They're up there. So, and we're trying to figure that out as we go to this Friday night's game. And they get this young man right here just sitting beside me. This is my brother. I love him. We have been friends now. What, Byron? 5 years, 6 years,
6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years now, and coming in there, and well, we met through this show, and his knowledge and his wisdom was so great, man. We needed to bring him on.
Has anybody seen Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Yeah. Remember, that was what started it. And I would just like, man, I'd have to go by that. I know Drew didn't even want to touch it. I don't think Drew touched it much either, did he? Anyway, this is how the show started. Dave was producing the show, and then we got Mitchell and Byron to come on the show, and it's just been going great ever since. And then, Big Kevin didn't, he needed to get out of the broadcasting business for a little bit. That's a couple of things that he wanted to do and some things going on. And we was like, man, Chuck's like, who you going to get? I said, I got one person. There was two, really. And that's the two boys that were right here. And it was nothing against Mitchell or you. It was just a choice. Mitchell was busy with his racing. I didn't know how many Friday nights he could get away. And I knew Byron had the time and could do it. And that's why Byron is the color commentator for the Tornadoes right now. And we always have fun when we do this. You don't know how much. Sam Shields, I said, 11-0, football season will end, war won't. Yeah, you're right. And Sam, Allstott said, go Big Red. So, well, we'll see.
I'm going to say this because I said it on live air. I don't know if it was this football game or the last football game or one before. Excuse me. I feel so blessed to be able to do this, David. You know how much I love football.
Oh yeah, that's why I
always love football. And to be able to sit up in a booth and run my mouth about football every Friday night and it be heard on the radio and actually me make not much money, but make some money off of doing that, I feel completely and totally blessed to be doing that.
Will be, I
really
love
do.
you. And, like I said, it was just choice. And, I chose you. And, look, I'm not going to be able to do this all the time. Eventually, you're going to have to take this over at some point. Mitchell probably will be your guy. You know what I mean? You bring Mitchell in.
Either that or I'll put an elevator up there and get you in an elevator.
Well, yeah, you'd have to maybe roll me in. We could do that too. But anyway, I've enjoyed coming.
David, you got your dentures.
You got your David. Do you have your what is it? Your Geritol tonight? Because you're going to need it.
Hey,
no. But anyway, no, it's been fun. I've been doing it since 2016. It's been great. I love doing it. Chuck, we love Chuck. We love everybody at the station, everything that they do. I love my guys. And that's the way it is. We're a brotherhood, and that's the bottom line, ain't it, David? We are a brotherhood. We look out for each other. We love each other. Yes, we've got busy schedules. We all do. But we also take time to come and do this show, and we try to take time to, like I said, like I put in that messenger, hey, we need to go have dinner one night, all four of us.
Yeah, man.
Just to sit there and just eat and just talk and find out what's going on, what we can do. But that's what we do. That's what makes this show so great. So, Byron, go Big Red.
Go Big Red.
On behalf of the Byron Bagwell. Oh, go ahead. Fried chicken.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
He had to take the commercial away.
Hey, we look. Yeah, he did, and
because they changed the time at Granny's. But
Byron, he was talking about running his mouth on Friday nights. That's not all me and Byron do. On Sundays, we get together. We go to breakfast with our families. Then we go to the radio station and we do promos. We do 2 promos for the week, and we do a game day report.
Do the game day report.
Man, it's so there's all kinds of things that that is on top of that. It's just not that. He enjoys that part of it because that's our escape, David. You know what I mean? The other stuff we have to be creative, B. How many times have we sat there and we went, man, the Jaguars just scored a touchdown.
Hey, you don't need to that too much because Sean may be listening in.
Yeah, he may be listening in. But, hey, Byron, I've got writer's block. No,
the first time that Chuck walked in on us.
Tell the story. You got to tell the story before we go. Yeah.
Oh, y'all are watching Jaguar game.
Yeah. But now on our defense, B, we had our papers. We had our papers.
Yeah.
We were trying, and we just had writer's block. You're not confirming or denying that?
Well, sometimes you have to do some different things to get the creative juices flowing. So things like, I don't want to give that one away because that's the upcoming one. Things like rams in the back seat of vehicles, sharks in pools out behind the radio station, stuff like that. You have to.
If y'all haven't listened to those promos, please tune into 106.3, especially on Fridays.
Please.
I know he plays it at 6:20. I think he plays it every 2 hours after that. Y'all have to listen to this. That's the creative part that we come up with. And it's fun doing it, and it's really fun.
And sometimes that'll just hit one of us when we're not there, and I go, David, listen to this and see what you think.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. It flows, brother, and that's why we make such a good team. And I appreciate what Chuck has done and does over at the radio station each and every week for us for our broadcast. All right, David, are you ready? On behalf of the Byron Bagwell, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, with Gunner Racing, right? That's exactly right. The Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland over here, director and producing. I'm Dave Rodgers. God bless you guys. Like Byron said, don't forget the game Friday night against Gainesville Eastside. We want to see all y'all in the stands. If you can't, you can catch the live radio broadcast. Tell them, B, how they can do it.
They can catch the live radio broadcast on Eagle Country 106.3.
God bless you guys. Love each and every one of you. And go ahead and say it again, B. I love when you say it. Tell me. Go.
God bless America and go Big Red.
There you go. God bless you guys. Have a good one.